issues that are coming down from the Supreme Court right now. I mean, there's the January 6th inquiries that are happening, those hearings. Folks are having reactions to that one way or the other. There are people talking about the Supreme Court decision about Roe v. Wade and the implications of that for women, the implications of that for families, the implications of that for potentially for contraception or gay marriage or interracial marriage, because the amendment, the 13th Amendment that had been used to support that there was a constitutional right for an abortion, that amendment was also used to support those pieces of legislation too. So there's lots of concern for folks right now. And, so we had this conversation. I heard from several members of our team, our clinical and our administrative team, who were very distressed by the decision from the Supreme Court about Roe v. Wade. And then I heard from some folks who were in support. And what it reminded me of is that, people can have a variety of reactions for a variety of reasons, and that we are most compassionate when we can allow the other to be other, right? And this is tough. As we know, this has been a big deal in our political climate over the last few years, now with the Supreme Court and, in families. These are big, hot button issues, and that we're most compassionate when we can allow the other to be other. And I just reminded our team, not everyone thinks the same thing. Don't forget, just to be mindful of the fact that other people may have a different opinion, and we don't know what goes into that opinion for them or why. So before we jump to a conclusion or jump on them, take a step back, take a breath, be reflective. Now, if somebody's saying something blatantly insulting, and I had a family member this last week say something just blatantly insulting about women who get pregnant. And I'm telling you, I was just seething. I was so upset. And I had to take myself out of that and then go back in and have a different kind of conversation, because I felt like I wanted to be reactive, but I didn't think that was a great idea. So these kinds of things are happening in families, in communities, in churches, in, all over the place, in therapy practices, in teams and businesses. And so it was a reminder of, let's assume that our opinion gets to be valid, and assume that the other person gets to have a valid opinion as well. And can we stay in a place of compassion even when the other person is not? Doesn't mean we have to take guff off of anyone. But it does mean, boy, it doesn't do anybody any good when we get into a reactive state. We're in a fight or flight mode, and we're going to start telling them what's so. And the data says very clearly, the best way to get someone to disagree with you and to push back on you is to give them the facts about your side. There's data to support that. The more you give people data, the more likely they are to sit back and say, let me tell you why that's wrong. Let me tell you why that's biased. But coming from a place of compassion, of really trying to listen and understand, is what seems to invite people into a different kind of conversation. Doesn't mean you can change anybody's mind, but you can at least maybe reestablish that you are both humans and have a right to your opinion.